Get out! Get out! Get going! What's up? What's up? What's up, my nigga? Yeah, nigga, that's on me, nigga. That's on me, nigga. What's up? No, nigga, back up, nigga. Get going. Back up, nigga. Get going. Yo, bitch ass, get going. Get going. Get going. Get out of here, nigga. Get going.
Welcome to 2020. What's up, guys? Drew Hernandez here with the Lives Matter official podcast. Want to welcome you guys here. If you guys are here for the first time, we are in studio tonight, not on the road. Had a few days, kind of redirecting some of my life plans. So a lot of trips we've been making lately, but we're back. We're back in studio. My son is happy to be back home. He doesn't like being on the road that long. He gets cranky. He just likes to be here with you guys in studio. So I want to welcome you guys. If you guys are joining tonight, I'm pretty sure more people will roll through in the coming minutes, couple hours. But make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to smash the like button. Let YouTube know that you like me, that you like this content and you want to keep seeing this content, and that you actually like this podcast and you like listening to me. So if you do, make sure to leave a comment below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd like to know where you guys are, country, city, state, wherever you are. Obviously, don't give an address, but I'd like to see where you guys are listening in from tonight. But make sure to just completely smash the like button. Let YouTube know, let the algorithm know that you like this video and you like me, and to subscribe and share this video everywhere you can. Everywhere you could share a link, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Reddit, it's on Twitter, Parler, especially Parler. Guys, make sure to just share this stuff everywhere. Real News Gang is you guys, and you guys are the ones that get all this content out wherever a link could be posted. If it's your own blog, your own whatever, website, get this stuff out as quickly and as much as possible. And so I'm pretty sure you guys saw the first clip of the show tonight. I'm pretty sure you guys saw that. If you follow me on Twitter, this thing went viral. I didn't capture that clip myself. I just retweeted it, and it got picked up because it's very interesting, because you see Antifa. This was in San Francisco. We're going to go over this story tonight. But even people on Twitter were like, How do you know that's Antifa? Why do you always accuse Antifa of doing these crazy things? And it's like, you got to give the benefit of the doubt, I guess. But Antifa will predominantly be wearing, black attire. It's called the Black Bloc. Doesn't matter what color skin they are. This is their outfit. But some video came out, we're going to go over this later, of them waving the anti-fascist, the Rose City, I believe it's Rose City, but it's the anti-fascist flag, right after they beat the hell out of this guy and busted his face in. His mouth was bleeding. This is a black guy. I know you guys saw this clip, and we're going to go over it tonight. We're going to talk about Black Lives Matter physically assaulted a woman, Trump supporter, at the Women's March. We're going to talk about that. I mean, I don't understand what these people are trying to accomplish. But Antifa beat the hell out of a black man, busted his face. His teeth were smashed in. Some GoFundMes were started to raise funds because dental work is extremely expensive. Busted his face in because he was holding a free speech rally. Leftists are claiming he's a Proud Boy, the whole night. The same, I'm shocked. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to say he's a white supremacist, even though he's clearly a black guy. But for those of you guys that missed the clip, or if you haven't seen it by now, let me play it for you one more time.
Get out! Get out! Get going! What's up? What's up, my nigga? Here, nigga, that's on me, nigga. That's on me, nigga. What's up? No, nigga, back up, nigga. Get going. Back up, nigga. Get going. Yo, bitch ass, get going. Get going. Get going. Get out of here, nigga. Get going.
Now, they're clearly spewing, they're calling him the N-word, okay? I'm yet to see a video of Trump supporters in Keep America Great hats or MAGA hats chasing down a black man, and they punched him twice. I'm going to show you the other video. This guy punched this Antifa kid, punched him, or man, whatever, punched him twice. And you see in the video, you hear them spewing racial slurs. They're calling him the N-word over and over and over. Whether it ends in an ER or ends in an A, I don't think black people appreciate the fact that a bunch of white people masquerading as if they're Batman in black clothing, chasing them down, calling them the N-word. I don't think black people appreciate that, okay? And this is what you hear. This is Antifa. These are the people that have been rioting in Portland for more than 150 days at this point, screaming Black Lives Matter in the name of social justice, fighting against social injustice, systemic racism against black people, because black people are so brutalized. This is what Antifa believes. If I had someone from Antifa sitting here right with me and I asked them, do you believe in fighting against the brutalization of black people? And they would say yes. And then I would say, well, what the hell is this video? Because here you are, some of your comrades, your anarchist comrades, literally punching in the face. I can't show the video. I'm going to get into, I can't show the picture. For some weird reason, big tech is going after accounts, is going after this guy's account. His account was suspended. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, we know because it doesn't fit the narrative. When you have Antifa, the real white supremacists, beating the hell out of a black man that's not a leftist, that can't go out on mainstream media. That has to be suppressed. So I refrain from showing the photo of his mouth. You guys can find this. I don't know if that guy was wearing brass knuckles, whatever it was. He was violently physically assaulted, punched in the mouth. He lost a few of his teeth in the front of his face. His face was bleeding. And I think he still went on to even give his speech this day. This was last Saturday, I believe. Sunday. But his mouth was fully bloody, lost teeth. It's very expensive to replace and to fix dental surgery. But this is a black man, and you have Antifa claiming that they fight for minorities, claiming that they fight for black people. They fight against racism and black people being brutalized by cops. But here's Antifa in San Francisco in full black bloc waving an anti-fascist flag. If you think I'm full of crap, wait a few seconds. I'm about to show you the video. There's another angle of this video. But you hear them spewing racial slurs, calling them the N-word. Can you just think for 2 seconds? And I know I say this a lot, but I gotta say it because it's reality. It's my job to point out hypocrisy, whether you're on the left or whether you're on the right. Can you imagine for 2 seconds a bunch of dudes in let's just say full-blown mega gear, Make America Great Again hats, Keep America Great Again hats, full-blown like Trump 45 jerseys, right? Imagine if that situation was switched. If all of those guys that were attacking this black man, calling him the N-word multiple times, and in the clip you can hear say, oh, cry about it, cry baby, degrading this black person. Imagine if those were Trump supporters decked out in Trump gear. This would be the ultimate headline 2020 biggest story of the nation of the year. Trump supporters physically assaulting a black man. You know it would be true. And even if you're on the left and you disagree with me and my politics, you damn well know that if that was a group of Trump supporters that did that to this black man, it would be headline news. The guy would be interviewed, making his rounds on CNN. He'd be making his rounds. He would do Anderson. He would do Don Lemon, Crybaby Cuomo, MSNBC, the whole 9 yards. This guy would be interviewed. He'd be invited. It would be everywhere. His name would go down in history as a black saint that the social justice left would demand be installed as a hero in American history. You know how this goes. Like Breonna Taylor, like George Floyd. The list goes on. See, but the problem is it doesn't fit the narrative, so the left can't use this. And this is what I want you to see. I know conservatives get this, and I know Trump supporters, even some centrists, but if you're watching this and you disagree with me and I haven't convinced you yet, this is why this happens, and I need you to see this. They don't care about black people. On the CNN front, right? They pander. Oh, we care about black people. We want more diversity. Let's get more black people, more hosts. Let's get more black staff. All of our commercials are all about black people now. Only black actors. Virtue signaling to the world. We're not racists. We're not racists. Look at we have blackies. This is how they act. Literally how they act. This is their mentality. This is how they think. We got black people. We're not racist. As if like you intentionally hire or you intentionally bring these commercials or you intentionally do these things. You don't have to prove that you're not a racist. Just be who you are and it'll come out that you're not a racist. It must be natural, not fabricated or engineered. But this is how these people think. What am I saying? What I'm saying is, why isn't this guy on CNN? Why isn't this guy being interviewed by all of these left-leaning news anchors and journalists and reporters? Why is big tech suspending his account? If you don't believe me, I'll show you. But here's the second video. I wanted to show you guys this clip. This is a second angle, and you could literally hear these racist freaking Antifa telling this black guy that he doesn't belong here. It's ridiculous.
Nah, we don't need you here, bro. We don't need you here. Nah, we don't need you here, bro. With me. Man, fuck that. Hey, fuck you and fuck you too. Fuck both of y'all. Hey, man, my freedom is to protect the real shit. This man's a sucker, and you know that. fuck out of here.
man. Get the fuck out.
Fuck out of here. You're not welcome here, man. Don't
Get the fuck out.
You see that flag at the end? You know what flag that is? That is the anti-fascist Antifa flag. Okay? That was them. This is them. This is Antifa. Beating the hell out of a black guy. Busting his mouth. Like I said, I can't show the picture. Big tech is going after people right now. I don't even know if this stream, I don't know what's going to happen with this, but did you hear what they're saying? These people are racist as hell, dude. You don't belong here. You don't belong. They are literally the new KKK. This is who these people are. They masquerade in all black, and they beat the hell out of black people, telling them that they don't belong here. And as I'm watching this, I'm just like, if these dudes were wearing Trump gear and Trump hats, this would be freaking headline news until the end of the year. But it's not. The left can only peddle conspiracy theories. Bubba Wallace, right? Juicy Smollett. These people that fabricate homophobic attacks from racist Trump supporters with no corroborating evidence. We have so many videos of racist Antifa beating the hell out of gay people, out of black people, out of minorities, caught on film. CNN doesn't touch it. What am I trying to get you to see, my friend? I'm trying to get you to see that these people do not give a damn about black people, minorities, or even communities of homosexual communities, transgender communities, these communities that they claim to be on the side of. If you are black and you are on the right or you are in the middle, not on the left, they don't care about you. So what does that mean? That means that they don't care. It's not real. It's not authentic. Because if it was real and if it was authentic, then CNN, Mr. Cuomo, Anderson Cooper, and Don Lemon, they would all give everyone the same equal treatment, regardless of their political views. If a black man is being called the N-word and the black man is being told that he doesn't belong here and he gets his face busted in by a political group, terrorist organization, then they should cover it too. But they don't. Why? Because they don't give a damn. It doesn't fit the narrative. Only if you are a radical leftist do they care about black people. But if you're a Trump supporter, if you are a conservative, if you are a centrist, even if you are a liberal that's not as far left as Black Lives Matter or Antifa, they don't care about you. If you have any indication that you're not on their side, they won't invite you on. Doesn't matter. They don't care. These people don't care. It's all about their narrative. It's all about keeping optics so that the NBA and the MLB and the NFL and all these commercials and huge organizations in America can keep their narrative. But you'll never see a movement dedicated from the left. You'll never see someone on the left dedicate time to black people on the right or in the middle that are brutalized like this because they don't care. All black lives don't matter to these people. Only selective black lives matter that are a part of their agenda. and that feed their interest and their optics and their votes. This is unacceptable. There's let me see this real quick. Breitbart wrote about this. Let's get it up. I'm going to read you the article. Antifa knocks out black man's teeth for holding free speech rally while calling him the N-word. There it is right there. That's I don't know if that's the first punch or the second punch. He was punched twice. An Antifa counter-protester in San Francisco knocked out the front teeth of a black man who organized the free speech rally and protest on Saturday. People in the crowd can be heard yelling racial slurs at the man. Shortly before a free speech rally and protest in San Francisco, event organizer Philip Anderson can be seen in a video tweeted by Chester Belloc, helping a white man walk through an angry counter-protest filled with Antifa anarchists. How do we know they were Antifa? I showed you the video. They have the Antifa flag waving right there, high and proud. As they walk through the crowd, a man wearing all black block, comes up from behind Anderson and punches him in the face, actually twice. There's the first video. I showed you guys that. Anderson, hey, there's me. Anderson recoils from the hit and holds his ear and jaw. A few seconds later, the man moves in again and punches Anderson in the mouth, knocking out his two front teeth. A woman in the background can be heard taunting Anderson, yelling, "Cry about it, cry about it." There's the video I just showed you. Breitbart used my retweet. The predominantly white Antifa crowd can be heard screaming the N-word multiple times. Back up, N-word, back up, N-word. Someone in the crowd yells as Anderson tries to escape the attack. Anderson and the white man he was protecting eventually climb over the police barricade and move to safety behind the police. Anderson went on to speak at his rally, which broke down a short time after when the angry mob became more radicalized and police believed they were no longer safe. Officers eventually packed the free speech protesters into a police van and drove them away in a high-speed escape, Breitbart News reported. Now, I wanted to show something to you guys. Show something to you guys right here. Check this out. From the back seat of the van, Anderson tweeted, "Antifa attacked me for no reason. These people are racist terrorists." Okay? So when you click his tweet, it takes you to the link. Here's the link. I already preloaded it. And it says this tweet is from a suspended account. For unknown reasons, I'm not sure why. I can only speculate. I don't think this fits Twitter's narrative. This kind of stuff cannot go out right now. This could potentially change millions of votes. For some reason, this guy's Twitter, and this is being reported, his Twitter links are all here on Breitbart. You guys can go click these yourself. I'm not manipulating this. And look here, I'll click it again. Right here. There it is. Load. Suspended. This tweet is from a suspended account. He has now made a new account on Twitter. That when you take a look at his new Twitter, you can see it was made this month or very, very recently. But the problem is why is Twitter hiding the fact that a black man was physically assaulted violently and called racial slurs by Antifa? Why? Because they're covering it up. It's a total cover-up. It doesn't fit the narrative. Let's get the front cam. It doesn't fit the narrative. And he's not on the left. It doesn't fit the left narrative that black people are being brutalized by police. But they don't care about a black man that has different political views that was being called racial slurs. This is literally racism. Racial slurs, and his mouth punched and his teeth broken in, bleeding mouth, because of his political views. And he's black. Why won't the media touch this? Because it doesn't fit their narrative. Why is Twitter suspending this guy's account if Black Lives Matter? Why? Because they don't give a damn about black people if that black person does not fit their narrative. So what does that mean, America? That all black lives do not matter to the left. Period. If you don't agree with them and you are black, you're not in the club. If you don't agree with them and you are black and you get attacked, violently attacked by Antifa, which are designated terrorists, and you get called racial slurs and your face bashed in, you don't get any coverage. You get your Twitter account suspended because that can't come out, because what will that equal to? More votes for Trump. This is how these people think. It's all political. They are doing anything and everything in their power to make sure that anything that could potentially change the minds of millions of people on social media either gets extremely censored and buried into the abyss somewhere, digital abyss on the internet, shadow banned, deboosted, or completely censored and deplatformed, especially on Twitter, on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. The list goes on. Why? Because after the 2016 election, after WikiLeaks came out, all of this stuff flooded the internet. Millions of people changed their minds and changed their votes when they realized who the hell Hillary Clinton really was, what she wanted to do, and the rest of the Democrat Party. Regardless of where that information came from, it was all true. Big tech is fighting night and day to make sure that any information, even if it's true, does not make it to the internet for millions to see. This is why the Ukraine story that came out from the New York Post was buried into the digital abyss. This is why this guy gets suspended on Twitter because he's a black man that was attacked by people shouting racial slurs on their side. That can't go out on the internet. Why? Because millions of independents, millions of people that might be moderate Democrats watch that crap and they start to wake the hell up and say, who the hell are these people? We're going to vote for Joe Biden after he just said Antifa is not an organization, but an idea? But there they are, waving an Antifa flag, beating the hell out of a black man? What's going on here? Millions of people see that and they vote differently in November. That's why Twitter, that's why big tech buries it into the digital abyss. Think about it. And it's sad. What am I trying to get you to understand tonight is that mentality is not real. That mentality equals they don't really care. Because if they did, it wouldn't be about votes. It wouldn't even be about the election. If they really cared, this story would be blasted everywhere. But it's not. But it's not. Which, in my opinion, is sad. Listen, I'm all for fighting racism. I hate it. I hate racism. I hate white supremacy. I hate brown supremacy. I hate black supremacy. I hate any group that sees itself in a way that is superior to other people. I think that's despicable. I think it's evil. And I hate it. I'm the first to jump up here and say, I denounce all forms of racism. I don't just denounce white supremacy. I denounce brown supremacy. I denounce black supremacy. The list goes on. But I think if we're going to talk about equality, and I think if CNN is honest with themselves, that if you really are for fighting against racism, then you have to be able to fight against racism regardless of what political party you belong to. If there's racism in the Democrat Party, then we need to expose it and address it. If there's racism in the Republican Party, then we need to expose it and address it. Regardless of where it's coming from, if you honestly care about fighting against something as serious as racism, political party should not dictate or guide any decision you make when it comes to fighting against this kind of stuff. What am I saying? What I'm saying is these people don't give a damn. And it's all about optics and politics in order to get people to perceive something that they're these virtue signaling white people that are fighting against racism. And they're using these gigantic platforms in order to give minorities a voice, black people and brown people that have never had a voice before. But what about this guy? He don't get one. He's black. Why? Because they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. And if you can't see that, as Obi-Wan told Anakin Skywalker, and I tweeted this the other day, well, then you are lost. I don't know what to tell you. Because at this point, if you cannot see this stuff at this point, that these people do not care about black people or minorities or anyone. It's only if you fit their interest. It's only if you fit their narrative. It's only if you put dollars into their pockets. Do they give you the light of day? Only if you are on their side. Why can't you just be who you are? Why can't you be a conservative or a Trump supporter that's black? Why? Because it's their way or the highway. This goes deep. I can answer this question extremely deeply because of cultural Marxism that we've allowed to invade and control our culture. Where it's either you're with us or against us. But this isn't freedom. This isn't America. They claim that they want a new age democracy and they want to usher in a new utopia of freedom. They want to abolish everything in America. They want to burn down the system. They want to start a new thing. And their new thing is going to be something that is either you believe and do what they want or you cannot stay. That's their mentality. Even if you are black. Right now, if you are black and you are conservative and you are a Trump supporter in America, you are not accepted in the mainstream. Look at Ice Cube. Ice Cube is not a Trump supporter, but Ice Cube is willing to reach out to the administration in power in order to get something done for the black community. He did so, and look what happened. Ice Cube is getting canceled. For those of you that are watching me, and that grew up watching Ice Cube in the 80s, did you ever think that there would be a day where Ice freaking Cube, one of the most famous, controversial, anti-establishment rappers, would ever be canceled? Not by government, but by the people, by mainstream. Did you ever think there would be a day where Ice Cube, my God, Ice Cube, that NWA, anti-police brutality, the most controversial rapper out of California, in my personal opinion, that took on the government, that was a huge issue in the 80s, early 90s, that people loved because of that. Ice Cube was like the Kanye West, of the late 80s, early 90s. The way that the black community especially viewed him of being like a influential pioneer, especially getting involved and taking on police brutality. Like, dude, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, how did we get to a place where people like Ice Cube are being canceled? Like, what the hell? Ice Cube is getting canceled by the mainstream now because he's willing to work with the Trump administration. He reached out to the Biden administration, and the Biden administration said, "Hey, yeah, we like your ideas, but we'll get to them after the election." He hit up the Trump campaign with the same ideas. The Trump administration with the same ideas. The Trump administration said, let's get it done now. What am I saying? What I'm saying is we have gotten to a place where if you are not a part of their beliefs, their ideologies, their political affiliations, what they believe, what they want to do, regardless of even skin color, you're out. You're out. Even if you are as influential as Ice Cube. And I know cultural Marxism and communism, yes. The useful idiots, the famous influential figures, think that they're pushing a new world order or utopia, but they are the very idiots that get used in order to reach the masses, in order to usher in this utopian, socialist, communist, supposedly equal society that ends up being totally dictated by some kind of authoritarian figure and regime. And those people that brought it in get wiped out because they can't be left alive because they're too influential. This is just absurd. And before we get on to our next story, guys, if you guys would like to leave a super chat, I forgot to mention this in the beginning. All of your proceeds go to my endeavors for this podcast, for my reporting nationwide. You guys know what I do, my investigative reporting. It is not easy. It is not cheap. I want to thank you guys. All your super chats go directly into this. I do this full time. If you'd like a question answered, for sure, leave a super chat and I will get to it at the end of this show. So whether you want to do it right now or you want to do it later, that's fine. Thank you guys. And also, if you guys would like to support me monthly on Patreon, the link is below. And if you'd like to give a one-time on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, the links are below as well. Thank you guys for the support, and we'll get to that at the end of the show. But let's continue. I'm going to bring this up real quick. So our next story, which kind of correlates with what I'm talking about tonight, if we can get it up. A female Trump supporter. This is even more absurd. I mean, when I first saw this, I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? Female Trump supporter attacked, hospitalized. She was attacked and hospitalized following an altercation with Women's March activists in D.C. This is by American News, Post-Millennial. A female Trump supporter was allegedly attacked and hospitalized by Women's March and Black Lives Matter activists after she participated in a pro-Trump rally on Saturday in Washington, D.C. A female Trump supporter was allegedly attacked and hospitalized by Women's March and Black Lives Matter activists after she participated in a pro-Trump rally on Saturday in Washington, D.C. Isabella Maria De Luca, whose bio identifies her as a Turning Point USA ambassador, posted images of her injuries while recovering at a local hospital. National File identified De Luca as the outreach director for the pro-Trump organization Republicans for National Renewal. The aftermath of supporting @Real Donald Trump, it's a picture of her, and I believe this is the face. This is what they did to her. Here's a picture of her face. Let me see if I can blow this up. Let me backtrack. I think it looks better right here. Not like you know what I mean. Her face is totally swollen. This isn't what she really looks like. You can see her lips. They beat the hell out of her. Her lips are completely swollen. She has a neck guard on. I'm pretty sure she might have a concussion of some sort. I don't know. I'll take a look at the report right now. But obviously, you could say that they beat her face until it was swollen. Okay, look at her face is still red. She has bruises. Let me show you a couple more pictures. I think she posted a video today. Here's her Twitter. Look at her face. This is a few days later. Bruises. You can see the bruises right here. You see the bruises on her cheeks. Some people are accusing her. She wrote here on Twitter, "The fact I even have to come on here and defend myself to a bunch of disgusting leftists is sad. I didn't charge at a woman. She stole my flag and I put my hand up to retrieve it from the ground so I didn't get kicked while I was on the ground." So apparently she was being beaten while she was on the ground. It's interesting because the left will say believe all women. Unless the left beats the hell out of a woman, they don't believe her. Even though she has physical bruises on her face, which is physical evidence of someone beating the hell out of you, they don't care. And so her story goes on to say this. Let me go back here and let me finish reading this. She says, while there was no footage of the attack, a Breitbart news reporter attending the event captured footage of De Luca waving a Trump flag and shouting 4 more years earlier in the day. In a statement provided to the publication, De Luca alleges that she was assaulted by an older female. This is what she said. The first woman was a white woman. She had glasses on, a glittery, bedazzled Black Lives Matter shirt, DeLuca said. She looked like she could have been my grandma, honestly. According to DeLuca, the younger assailant grabbed DeLuca's pro-Trump flag, and when she tried to grab it back, the woman allegedly punched and choked her. These bruises actually look like what she's saying is true, if you take a look at her face. That's why she had the neck guard on. It goes on to say DeLuca told the publication that a younger female Black Lives Matter supporter assisted the older woman who had initially assaulted her by hitting, pushing, and punching DeLuca. DeLuca was hospitalized following the attack and treated with a cervical collar due to her head and neck injuries. She told the publication that she was suffering from blurry vision and dizziness due to the impact. That's a possible concussion. Trump supporters turned out in Washington, D.C. outside the Supreme Court to show their support for Amy Coney Barrett. They were met by a large group of counter-protesters from the Women's March and Black Lives Matter movements. And this was the result. That's her face. Now, I'm going to make 2 points here. Let's close this down real quick. I'm going to make 2 points here. Number one, who the hell beats up a woman at a women's march? Like, okay, it would have been crazier if it was men, but it's even stupider that it's women beating up another female. The Women's March stands for what? For women. Women's rights, women's independence, women's progression in society, feminism, the protection of women, the voice of women, pro-women, right? Who the hell beats up a woman at the Women's March? How does that, or even Women's March attendees that pull through where a bunch of Trump supporters are and beats up a woman? Like, you just got back from, these people pride themselves. If you've ever been to a women's march, they are hardcore feminists. It's women over everything, to the point of sometimes they just want to remove men completely. But there's one thing that we could both agree on right now if you're a leftist. I think the Women's March is one of the most pro-women gatherings of the year. And here are some of their activists, their Black Lives Matter as well, coming into contact with who? Someone that they disagree with. And they get into an altercation and they beat the hell out of her. They try to take her flag and they stomp her out and they leave her face bruised to where she has to have a neck guard on and she's dizzy. They must have really, really hit her in the head hard in order for that to happen. What am I saying? What I'm saying is it's the same case as the black guy that we talked about earlier. Why isn't this woman being blasted all over the left-leaning media either? Because CNN, Cuomo, Anderson Cooper, and Don Lemon, Rachel Maddow, CNN, MSNBC, all of these SJWs that claim to be champions of women and minorities and black people, they don't really care. I know I sound like I'm repeating this over and over again, but I have to, because if I don't, it's not going to be talked about because I'm one of the few that will talk about it. What am I saying? What I'm saying is, if these people really cared about women, believe all women. If you go read the comments on Twitter. These people are insane. They don't believe her. They're accusing her of starting the fight. They're accusing her as if it's her fault for getting beat up by some deranged Black Lives Matter activists with Black Lives Matter shirts on that came from the Women's March that claim to be for women's rights. Unless you're a Trump supporter, unless you're a conservative. If you're not on the left and you're not a radical, neo-communist, anarchist, hardcore leftist, then you do not get the same equality. These people claim to be fighting for equality, but they don't produce or they give the same equal treatment to anybody else that disagrees with their views. They don't care about women. They don't care about believing all women. When you see the entire left accusing this woman of being a liar when she has bruises all over her face. Literally. She said it right there on Twitter. What did she say? She said, it's sad that I have to come on here and defend myself from a bunch of leftists. Of course it is. Because these people don't really care about women. Because if they did, why doesn't she get the same treatment? Why isn't Alyssa Milano blasting this woman's Twitter, saying that this ain't right, this is wrong? Why? Because again, it goes against the political narrative. So what does that mean, class? These people don't give a damn. If it doesn't fit the narrative, they can't use it. And they can't control the minds of people that do not see this and cannot see this. If it was really about black lives, then all black lives would get the same treatment to left-leaning media. If it was really about believing all women, then all women would get the same treatment when it came to left-leaning media as well. But why don't they? Because they don't care. Period. And that's the truth. Let's real quick, hold on. Let me get something. Let's get the screen up again. I wanted to show you guys something on her Twitter. Now, this is interesting. This makes it even worse. She tweeted, I think today or yesterday. Look what she tweeted. Facebook took my entire account down after I posted what happened to me. Facebook, look at this. Facebook took my entire account down after I posted what happened to me. Wow. Wow. You want to know why? And let's take that down. You want to know why? It's because there's a narrative. Again, it's election season. People on the left, moderates, Democrats, see this stuff. And it exposes who they really are. And that means millions of votes. Why is Facebook censoring her? I thought Facebook cared about women's rights. I thought Facebook and big tech were all about progression and advocating for minorities to progress and civil rights for blacks and for brown people, all people, especially women. And there's Facebook bearing her story. What happened to believe all women? Oh, we don't know if it's true. It might not be true, so we got to take it down. Oh, really? What happened to believe all women? We got to make sure it's true. If it's not true, we can't allow a lie to go out during election season because it could change the minds of people, and that's irreversible. But what about believe all women? Well, it's election season, but what about believe all women? You see what I'm saying, guys? Their ideologies do not add up. And I say this over and over again because I have to. Because there are women out there that actually believe that the Democrat Party or these left-leaning organizations actually care about them and their rights. When you say the Women's March, when you say that you are fighting for women's rights, that means that you are fighting on behalf of all women. Because if you are not, then just be honest with yourself. Change the title of the Women's March. Change it. Call it the Leftists' Women's March. Just be honest. Don't sit there and claim to be a champion of women's rights and then turn around and have some of your activists wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt go and beat the hell out of a woman that doesn't agree with you. At least be honest. Change the name of the Women's March. Call it the Leftists' Women's March. Because if Trump supporters show up to the Women's March, this stuff happens. They're not allowed to go. If you're a Trump supporter and you show up to a Women's March, that's going to make some headline news. Maybe. because an altercation or a fight will come of it. Not because the Trump supporters will start beating the hell out of people, but because the leftists can't contain themselves or even be mature enough to be around someone or anyone that disagrees with them socially or politically without getting violent. They've made it this way. They've made it so polarized and tribalized. Our politics never had to get to this point where Trump supporters and Democrats or leftists couldn't be in the same vicinity of each other without violence brewing. It never had to be this way. But because the left has gotten so violent and they've peddled so many conspiracy theories and lies about Donald Trump being the next Adolf Hitler and this authoritarian fascist leader, and the Make America Great Again movement is going to be this new wave Fourth Reich that's going to enslave minorities, people bought that lie. They believed that lie. So now they act accordingly against that lie when they meet each other in the real world. This is why Antifa fights like this. This is why Black Lives Matter is violent like this. Because they actually believe that that's what they're fighting against. But it's a lie. So now it's caused Trump supporters to be extremely defensive now because you have these deranged, mentally ill people that have been lied to by the mainstream media that think they're fighting something that's not even there. And Trump supporters go out with MAGA hats on in California and big blue states, and they have to watch their backs because they've been painted as fascists, racists, neo-Nazis, even if you're black, even if you're brown. And here we are, where this woman, because she's a Trump supporter, gets her face beaten, bruised by Black Lives Matter activists that came from a women's march in the name of women's rights. Media, silent. Doesn't fit the narrative. And what that means to me is that these people are liars and they're frauds and they do not care. So don't talk to me about racism, Don Lemon, Cuomo, and all these people that claim to be these freaking voices of this generation's civil rights movement when it comes to media. That's all these people. All these people just want to be like the next Malcolm X or the next Martin Luther King. Well, that's fine, and that's all fine and dandy, but just don't be a fraud and try and get to that point. Because people like me can see it. Minorities like me can see it, and you look like a moron. It's an insult to me that you think that I'm some kind of stupid minority Hispanic that can't see through your garbage. It's a freaking insult to me. Pisses me off. But anyways, that's just my own opinion. So let's get to a few super chats tonight. Let me pull over here real quick. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. If you guys want to drop a super chat, drop one below immediately. I'm going to be getting to these. If you guys would like to drop one tonight, drop one now. I'll give you guys some time. For those that are in the chat, if you guys would like one answered, drop one now, and we will get to it in the next few minutes. But you know, I really enjoy watching this because I really have faith in humanity, and I really hope that humans can see through this stuff on their own, with their own brains, with their own intellect. And I have faith that people can see that, and I hope that people can see that. But the reason why I predominantly kind of like, sometimes if you watch this podcast and conservatives watch this and, you know, people are like, I know. And like, I know, you know, but I'm fully aware that there are people out there that need to be reasoned with. And this is why that I go about it this way, because I know there are people out there that literally need to be unlocked and pulled out of the matrix. So we're going to start taking some super chats. We have one right here with Democracy Dies with Democrats. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Thank you for that, guys. I just want to remind you guys, like, doing this full time has really changed a lot in my life. And I thank you guys, for the support daily, even whether it's financially or whether it's just messages or comments, really just gaining a lot of support from you guys really means a lot to me. And I thank you guys for that. Even just interacting with you guys like a community and talking with you and conversating with you. I like this aspect. Even though, YouTube does deboost me, I'm glad that I still have this platform to interact with every single one of you while it lasts. So I want to thank you guys very much. If anyone else would like to leave a super chat below, wait a couple more minutes before we roll through. Yes, my son is extremely handsome. Thank you. He is having a great time tonight, just like he always does. And hold on, let me open this real quick. Michael Garza. Thank you. Michael Garza, thank you for the super chat. I missed most of the show, but thanks for your work here, brother. Hey, no worries. This is why it's recorded. I don't delete these streams. If you guys would ever like to watch the full show again, obviously you can just go find the link and rewatch it. I will be getting this on audio platforms, all the mainstream ones, all the big ones, in time. We're almost there. Just getting funding for it. We have another podcast that's coming as well. I can't announce just exactly what that will be, but I will be doing 2 podcasts soon. You guys are going to be very happy with what's coming. But if you guys would like to support those kind of efforts, getting these things on audio platforms, the whole 9 yards, that's what I'm saying. These super chats, everything that comes through, it all goes to that. It all goes to that. So thank you. Thank you, Michael Garza. Thank you for popping in and tuning in, guys. We appreciate it. Love to hang out with you. Art T, thank you for the super chat. Art, another awesome show. Thank you for the compliment. I really do appreciate it. I don't compare myself to other shows. I just do my best with what I know. And I see things going on in the country and I give my thoughts. A lot of people that weren't following me before weren't aware that I am a content creator. I just got more into investigative reporting and journalism. That's just kind of like a tool on my tool belt. I do the man on the street, I do the podcast, and I do the investigative first-person view reporting on Twitter. And so if some people are like, oh, I didn't know you post this. I want to see more of this. I want to see more of that. So that I strive to just make sure I'm getting all 3 covered throughout the month. So just so you guys know, that's what I do as a content creator. Mom's Heart. Thank you for the super chat, Mom's Heart. I trust you. Stay safe. Hey, thank you. Thank you for the trust. I know that means a lot. If I'm honest with you, shout out to Rush Limbaugh, because I think I saw Mr. Michael Savage earlier, just really railing on Rush Limbaugh, and it really pissed me off, because I'm like, why? I guess Rush Limbaugh was crying on air today, talking about his cancer and, his life. And, when you get close to death, you start to become very different. Your heart, you start to look at life. You start to look at things in retrospect. And Michael Savage went and was basically making fun of Rush Limbaugh today on Twitter. And it really pissed me off. And here's why, because Rush really got me through the 2016 election. I was listening to him every single day, listening to what he was saying, dissecting what he was saying, taking a look at the media, seeing if it added up. And I kind of am like a product of Rush Limbaugh. Maybe, obviously, I'm not as big and maybe never will be, but I love him. He's great. He's an American treasure. I fear for what's going to happen to America when he's gone. And he's part of the reason why I got into this. Because I know someday guys like that are going to be gone. Some of the big influential voices that got me thinking clearly on certain things. And I hope someday I could be that too. So, shout out to him. And I'm praying for Rush Limbaugh, praying for his health. Obviously, he has a relationship with Jesus, which is the most important thing. But just want you guys to know, the reason why I say that is because when I see someone say, I trust you, it's an honor to me, because I know how valuable it is and how hard it is to trust someone for your news, for commentary and stuff like that. Like I'm very, very selective. For me, I'm very picky I don't trust a lot of people. But Rush was definitely one for me, and it's an honor to me to see stuff like that. That's the point I'm trying to make. So thank you. If you guys have any more super chat, let's see, we got one more right here. Almost Ultra. Thank you for the $3 super chat. Why this type of career? Are you referring to why I chose this path? This is a long story. After the 2016 election, I noticed and I saw things. I saw how close that we came to losing this country. And I'm fully aware of my talents, my capabilities, my ability to communicate on microphone, to public speak. I was a youth pastor for about 6 years. And I know what I'm capable of doing. But after the 2016 election, I saw a lack of voices, especially evangelical Christian voices. And I saw how close we came to losing this country over to Hillary Clinton and this left-leaning globalist agenda that Barack Obama was just handing over. I saw how close we came. And I remember I said in my heart that I need to do something. I need to say something. I need to get engaged, not only as an American, but as a Christian. I know I have talents. I know I have abilities. I have the ability to communicate. I know I could do something in order to somehow be that Rush Limbaugh in someone else's life in these upcoming elections, to get people to think, to get people to see things, to get people to hear things, to get people to dissect and discern and evaluate truth from error. That's why I started Lives Matter. In 2016, I saw all of this, and in late 2018 is when this channel launched. Started with the man on the street, led into podcasts, led into public speaking, and eventually led into investigative reporting, which has now officially become a legitimate professional career. This is my life now. This is my job. This is my livelihood. That's not why I got into it. I got into this to save this country and to preserve it constitutionally. And if social media is the way I do it, then this is the way that I'm going to do it. And if in the future I get ripped off of social media, I might have to go the Laura Loomer route and go run for freaking Congress. This is about America. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about glory. It's not about grifting. It's not about followers. All that could be gone within seconds. What matters to me is this country and its freedoms and its constitution and its values being preserved as we go further and further into the 21st century, as this country continues to age. That's why I got into this career. And God has just blessed me to be able to be provided for financially. I didn't get into this to make money. None of that, dude. I couldn't care less about the money, about the followers, about the glory, all of that. Trust me. I can care less. But if I need to be in the limelight in order to say some serious things that need to be said for the masses to hear, then that will be done. And so that's why I'm thankful that God has given me this position, and that's what led me into this career. So, yeah, if you guys have any more super chats, I'm taking questions tonight. Sienna, thank you for the super chat. Even if it's a question or something you want to say, guys, I will address it. Just like this one, Sienna, fight the good fight. Absolutely. Absolutely. We fight the good fight until the very end. Obviously, in your Christian walk, when it comes to your country, you must fight the good fight. Captain Planet, thank you for the super chat. Captain Planet, Hispanics need to be more libertarian. Mega 2020. I guess depending on what you're talking about, I feel you, bro. You have my full support. There, and that's the thing is a lot of libertarian views, a lot of liberals, it's like after 2016, the term liberal became like really derogatory. There's like a huge stigma and huge reproach that's been stamped on being called a liberal or a libertarian. It's not necessarily wrong. It's just that the left And the Democrat Party has been hijacked by neo-communists and socialists and radical anarchists that have made the term liberal as if that's what it is now. Because the majority of these people identify as the left, which would traditionally be more liberal, centrist, right? And it's sad. It's sad that this is where we've come. But if you really take a look at some real libertarian views and policies, especially when it comes to the Second Amendment, especially when it comes to taxes, right? Tax cuts, especially when it comes to some libertarian views on when it comes to your freedoms, you will find yourself your inalienable rights. You will be more of a libertarian, trust me. Especially when it comes to policing. You don't want to be policed. You never want America to turn into a police state. And I agree, Hispanics right now, and I don't make my brand all Hispanic. That doesn't mean I'm like ashamed of being Hispanic. I don't like the idea of like slapping like, Hispanic to my brand, or, the conservative Hispanic. And people do that, which is fine. But just for me, I would rather be the type of person that could reach all people. So I don't brand myself as someone that's isolated to one community, because I want to be able to reach Hispanics. I want to be able to reach Black people. I want to be able to reach white people. I want to be able to reach Asian. I want to be able to reach everybody. And if I'm just an influential Hispanic on the way, then so be it. But I don't really like blast my ethnicity as my brand. I don't know. It's my own personal I'd rather just be great. If that makes any sense. Okay, we got another super chat down here. Chrissy Richardson. I'd 100% vote for you. I'd 100% vote for you. Hey man, I've prayed about it. I've thought about it. And this is what I always tell people when it comes to running for office someday. I do not count it out, because if you were to tell me in 2012 that I would be a YouTuber, podcast host, investigative reporter that's been on Tucker Carlson 2 times in like 1 week, that's been nationally known, that's made world headline news, and that would be your career. If you were to tell me that in 2012, I would not believe you for a millisecond. I would look at you and be like, what in the world are you talking about? I guess what I'm trying to say is I never rule out the possibility of running for office someday, because I know that God could do anything with my life. And I know that if it came to that someday, that I would be willing to do so, because I know what needs to be done. And I'm not afraid to challenge anything tyrannical, which I think this country is definitely having to challenge, combat, and resist. And I think we're moving into some times where not only do politicians have to be willing to not be passive and aggressively resist tyranny, but even pastors and church leaders and elders need to start getting extremely aggressive when combating tyranny, because we have our constitutional freedoms and we are mandated by God to uphold those and to expose unrighteousness, which is anyone and anything that violates the law of the land, which is what? The Constitution of the United States of America. That's a mandate by God. So thank you guys. If you guys have any more super chats, if you'd like to drop one below, if you have any question, I'd love to interact with you guys, man. If you guys would like to drop one below, if there's something you'd like to say, even if you disagree with me, something you didn't like what I said, whatever you want to say, you can drop it below. Here we have another one. Denise Kuop, thank you for the super chat. Drew Hernandez for president 2024. I don't count it out. That's my vote. Stay safe out there, Drew. The streets are crazy right now. I am praying for you. Yes. Like I said, I don't rule it out. I don't rule it out. I'm running for anything. God has used children to be kings in the Old Testament. So I don't rule anything out. King David was chosen and called by God to be king when he was a young boy, and even his own father and his own older brothers didn't believe in him. It was only God. So I rule nothing out on that front when it comes to my faith and what God could do in my life. Because I'm at a point in my life where I find it very hard to doubt the existence of who God is and his love for me with the things that have happened in my life, which I will share with you guys someday. I can tell you countless stories of things that have happened in my life that are not aliens, that are not paranormal. It's God manifesting and revealing himself in acts of mercy, love, and grace. And we'll get into that someday. But so I thank you. Thank you for the prayers. And I know the streets are crazy. I will be hitting the streets very soon, reporting again. I've just been waiting for some nationally credible credentials for reporting, because reporters are being arrested. And without credentials, police officers won't take you serious. So I'm with the Tatum Report. So make sure, guys, like I always say at the end of every single show, bookmark tatumreport.com right now. Bookmark tatumreport.com in your Safari, your Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, whatever you use. Updated news, breaking news. We are on the cutting edge. We are the new organization that will be blowing up post 2020. All of my breaking news is posted directly to the tatumreport.com. If you guys support the tatumreport.com, you are supporting me. So make sure to do that. You guys support Brandon Tatum as well and his channel. Brandon Tatum, obviously, on YouTube, and the Tatum Report on YouTube as well. Make sure to subscribe to those channels as well. When you support them, you support me. And when you support me, you support them. So thank you guys. If we have any more super chats, if you'd like to drop one tonight, I want to thank you guys. Thank you for the support. If you didn't leave a super chat, if you drop something in Venmo, or you drop it in Cash App, or PayPal, or Patreon, whatever, thank you. It helps me. It supports me with my reporting endeavors. It helps me with what I'm doing full time. So I just want you guys to know that everything that comes through is being utilized as a good steward on my part for the furtherance of America. That's why I got into this. So at first it was weird. I was weird about like letting, even not asking for money. At first it was weird just letting people support me like this. So, but you know, over time, you know, I come around and I realize, hey, people just care, you know, and they want to be a part of something. And if they can do that financially, then that's cool. So I want to thank you guys very much. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not by now. Always check up on me, because YouTube will unsubscribe you. And share this video everywhere. And if you did not like this video, like it now. Smash the like button. Let YouTube know that you still like this video. To let them know. And this is the last super chat I will take from Imam's Heart. Thank you for another one. Try posting links to tatumreport.com on Parler so more people will go to your page. I will absolutely do that. That is a great idea. And thank you guys. Make sure to follow me on Parler, Lives Matter Official, and on Instagram, Lives Matter Official. Follow me on Twitter, Lives Matter Show, and Facebook, Lives Matter, obviously YouTube. But make sure to let YouTube know that you like this video, share this video, comment below if you have any more comments after this to engage in the conversation. And I love you guys. And until next time, America, stay free. Love ya.